gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of Follow Suit, Fashion Unfiltered. Follow suit is a mantra, which means to follow the suit. And as you follow it, you're going to come to realize the suit is a role model and a mentor whose purpose is to give guidance to the young men of this community and as well as to society. And it is my goal to honor and salute some of the individuals who not only put on the suit, but they wear it well. Hence the point, my guest today.
My name is Andrew, and I got a program called Follow Suit. And the name Follow Suit is about trying to inspire young men like yourself to dress for success. Because I was inspired when I was y'all's age to dress for success from my basketball coach. My father wasn't in my life, so I didn't have a male role model to look to teach me how to dress, teach me how to interact with other kids, especially the other males and all that stuff. So along the road, I made mistakes, and so now I'm trying to give back to my community and to the young, because I can't give it back to my children because they're all adults now. So I'm trying to put the energy into the young men like yourself. So y'all 13, 12, 13, so same time when I was 13, 14, I was a basketball player. 14 and a half, I could dunk with 2 hands. I was about 5, not even 5'10", now I was probably like 5'7", 5'8". So I had a little reputation and everything. I didn't hang with the guys who carried the guns and the knives. But any majority of people that knew me as growing up, they called me a square. It's the guy that you see with all the flash and the dash and doing all the wrong things. He's the actual herb in the buster. And so fast forward, no one believed that I would transition from being a kid that went to school. I did just enough in school so I could be on the basketball team. So I'm from being in school just enough to be on the basketball team to high school ended, and the next thing you know, I'm in the street selling drugs. And the next thing you know, after selling drugs, I'm a fugitive from justice, on the run with the feds looking for me. I can't see my family, can't contact my mother, can't contact my children, none of these things. To finally go in prison for a long stretch, almost as long as y'all your age. I was in prison for 11 straight years. What stuck with me was what he always taught us. He always taught us about, sir, you're never going to get a second chance to make a first impression. And that always stuck with me about never getting a second chance. So I always use that to my advantage. So when I go for job interviews, when I go for anything I go for, I dress my best. So when the person sees me when I walk in, and I'm like this, and I'm cut up, and I'm clean, I'm smelling good, I'm looking good, I got swagger, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta have your sneakers, your hat and back, you can be sharp and smooth and have swagger. And you walk in and you command the room. That's why we call it dressing for success. Because this is part of making a statement. And that's all I'm just trying to instill a little bit of that. And if you learn it at a younger age, man, by the time you get to be an adult, it ain't gonna stop you no matter what you want to be. Go after your dreams, become multi-millionaires. Y'all got more access, technology, the internet, and everything where it's easier for y'all to do. So I'm just trying to give you a little inspiration.
I'll just share a little bit of my story with you guys as team, because I think it's important for y'all to always kind of know, like, ain't none of us that real, any different. And I grew up in Roxbury. Y'all know what Charlene is? Charlene Street, Charlene Park Homes. Right up, you know what McDonald's is? The housing development right behind it, that's where I grew up. I come from a single parent home when I was raised by my grandmother. My father and my mother, my father was 20, my mother was 18 when she had me when she was a senior in high school. Raised in, Roxbury, went to school out in Concord. Any y'all familiar with Metco? Yeah, I went to Concord Public Schools, spent 12 years out in Concord Public Schools. My dad was and he's still living right now, he's a real sharp dresser. He's known around the city of Boston. If you ever talk to anybody that's above 60 to 70 years old, you can ask about Gilbert White Jr., which is my father. one of the sharpest brothers in the city of Boston. So I kind of took some of that from him when I developed my own thing. Let me see. I went to high school, I played football, I played sports in high school. This program, Follow Suit, is really, we want y'all to understand the importance of giving an impression. Because like you said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. What was the first thing that came to your mind? Nice looking, well dressed. These are the things that you want to impress upon people every time you step into a space, because you'll remember that person and you'll remember what they were talking about and what they said. But about 4 years ago, because of all these things that had gone on in my life, I wanted to have my own business as a, my side business. So I made custom clothes, I made custom suits for men and women. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about, I want you guys to leave here knowing something about suits that you never learned. So it's kind of like a little class, but it's an opportunity for y'all to really understand it. And you can kind of have these kind of grown-up men conversations, or you can talk to somebody, you can compliment somebody. It's an opportunity for you to learn how to engage. Because being able to engage with older adults, older men is very important. Because if you can't use this thing, people ain't never gonna know what you're capable of doing. You understand what I'm saying? So it's important to know how to talk to people. It's important to know how to present yourself. It's important to know how to represent not only yourself, but also your family, right? These are the kinds of things that we want y'all to understand, but we're gonna start with the dressing piece.
This is called a shoe horn. This is called a shoe horn. This is an important part. So when you get your shoes, when you step up your game and you start getting $300, $400, $500 shoes, you don't take them off. You don't put them on. I don't know if y'all can see me, but you don't put them on like how you put your sneakers on. You stick your foot and you flatten the back and you do like that. You use this here. You put your foot in like this. You use this and you slide it around and it holds the shoe together so you get no creases. Bam. And the shoe goes on and you fly. You do that around a couple of girls one time, and they don't know how to act. So it's an important thing to have. You gotta have your cologne. It's good to have a good scent. Pick out a nice cologne. Get your couple, but always have your one major scent that you like. And you wear that all the time. So when you leave the room, everybody's gonna know you was there when they come in after you're gone.
10 things I want y'all to know about suits, or about a suit. 10 things you should know. There are kinds of suits, or what I should say, let me just kind of lapels. There's 3 kinds of lapels: peak, notch, and shawl. So what's a lapel? Does anybody know what a lapel is? Where's the lapel on my jacket? This is the lapel. And I'm currently wearing a peak lapel. Where are his buttons? On the right side, right? That's where you don't go to a store. Make sure you don't get your buttons on the left. That means you just bought a woman's jacket. All right? So buttons always on the left, even though it's on your shirts. I don't know if anybody has a button-down shirt on. Now you can see my lapel, and you can see his lapel. And you want to know what kind of lapel you like. Then we have a couple of different, we have what we call 2 things you should know. And kinds of lapels, kinds of buttons. We got 1 button. You can have 20 buttons you want. 2 button, which is mostly classic. 3, some people like 3 button. I'm currently wearing a double breasted. Right? See how it comes over? That's a double breasted. What Anthony had on was called a single breasted. It's 2 buttons. What you want to happen with your sleeves, if you notice when I put my hands down by my side, can you see a little bit of my shirt? That's how you want your suits to fit you, so that you can peek at your shirt. The 5th thing you want to know is how you like the lapel holes. This jacket, you see this up here, I'm going around the shirt, you see that? It's called a lapel hole. You can have different styles of lapel holes. This is something if you wanted to wear like a little flower. Y'all seen guys with the little flowers. Y'all watch the draft and stuff and dudes, they have put stuff in there, lapels and stuff. Can you see it? I want y'all to see it. I want you to be able to recognize it. The bottom of your pants. You can go cuff or no cuff. What kind of pants do I got? Would you say this is cuffed or not cuffed?
Not cuffed.
Not cuffed. So one's gonna be straight. This is your pants leg. A cuff will have a little seam around the little pants. No cuff will just look like this. Now when you really get older and you really want to make it fly, you really want to know how to do it, you can also get your pants cut on an angle. Last thing I'll share with y'all is whenever you get dressed up, you want to make sure you got nice shoes on. Did y'all see Anthony's shoes? Y'all saw his shoes look sharp, right?
You try to do stuff that brings stuff together. So if you look close, I got blue. The suit is green, but there's little blue stripes in it, so the shoes are blue. So that's how you coordinate your stuff together. And then when you want to get tricky, then you use your sock. You use your sock. So I make it be a suit just for you. No one else in the world is going to have the suit because you made it.
I'm gonna start handing around some of these books, but you can see when I go see clients, I take these books, I take my iPad. These are materials. Now I didn't bring them all, but there's a standard that every man should live by, and I tell this to every man that I come in contact with. So y'all get a chance, I'm gonna let y'all see the buttons and see everything. Is you wanna have 3 suits in your closet. And you can build to this even as you get old. You want to have a blue suit, you want to have a gray suit, and a black suit. The blue suit and gray suit for interviews, jobs, whatever. Your black suit is usually for funerals or churches, and you can play them all for all three things. But you want to have 3 suits, and you want to get a pair of black shoes and a pair of brown shoes, because the black and the brown shoes will play for each one of those shoes. Now you can have 3 suits, right? And if you get them all made from the same material, you can switch them up with each other. Then you'll end up having, what's 3 times 3? 9. So then you actually have 9 outfits. Then if you just change the shirt with the suit, you get 3 more. Then you have like 27 different outfits. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to have a lot of clothes to be stylish or to be right for the occasion. All you have to do is know how to do it. And so that's what we're trying to teach y'all, starting at a young age. I think I'm about finished. I hope you guys learned something. It may sound boring to you now, but it's going to be to your advantage later on in life. Sooner or later, you're going to have to put a suit on, and you might as well look good doing it, right? No one wants to go anywhere looking like anything, right? So that's what we're about.
There's a saying. They say you can put a suit on a pig, but he's still a pig. So that's what you want to separate yourself from. When you put on a suit, you want to stand out. When you walk in the store, all you gotta do is, when a guy say, "May I help you?" all you gotta do is say these things to him, and he's gonna come back with what you need. Or something similar to what you might need, but it's gonna fit you. It might not be what you want, but it'll fit you. And you can tell him you want that in this color, or you want it in that color, or you want it in this extra pattern, or whatever.
4 measurements you need to know. I'm gonna measure everyone's length, inseam and waist, your neck and your sleeve length, and I'm gonna give you your chest measurements. These are the things you wanna have.
That's what we got this card for.
Give that right on the card.
You wanna write down neck, and you put the number that they give you for your neck, the number they give you for your inseam, etc. Right, and you write it down on the card, and then that's for you.
You know, you put it in your phone too. You wanna just open it up and look at what you could possibly do if you wanted to make a suit. For all you track athletes and football stars and basketball stars, when you have your, when you get drafted, make sure you call me so we can put you in the flyest suit. Who's ready? All right, I'll take the first guy, come in.
What's your name again? Tamaj?
Tamaj? Alright. You wear your pants right there? Alright.
Who's interested in really getting a suit? Everybody?